She accused me of kidnapping him because he's white and well, me. She didn't realize my wife was bringing the receipts and the rage. Let go of his arm right now, or I swear to whatever God you pray to, we are going to have a very physical, very permanent conversation, I snarled, my voice dropping that dangerous octave that usually makes grown men on the job site flinch. The woman, this absolute caricature of a suburban nightmare, pastel polo, frantic eyes, clutching her phone like a holy relic, didn't let go. She dug her fake nails deeper into the little boy's arm. He yelped. That was it. The red haze dropped. I'm recording you. The police are already on their way, she shrieked, her voice cracking. You're hurting him. I'm saving him. I took a step forward, just one, but when you look like me, one step is enough to block out the sun. Lady, the only thing you're saving is a court date. Let him go. Let me back up, because, honey, you need the full picture to understand how close I came to catching a felony charge over a Lego-obsessed 8-year-old. See, my best friend, let's call her Elena, is my soul sister. We've known each other for 40 years, since middle school. We have survived braces, bad perms, worse boyfriends, and every crisis life has thrown at us. Elena and her husband had a miracle baby very late in life. She was 42 when she had Leo. Leo is my heart. I was the fourth person to ever hold that boy. I was in the hospital room before the epidural wore off. My own kids? They're grown, flown the coop, living their best lives. So Leo became my do-over. My wife Sarah treats him like a grandchild, spoiling him rotten. Me? I treat him like a little brother. We build Lego Death Stars, we scream at the TV playing Mario Kart, and honestly, I've had to relearn everything about Minecraft just to keep up with his conversation. Here is where the visual discrepancy comes in. I am not a petite flower. I am a 6-foot-tall, 300-pound Hispanic woman. I work in welding and heavy construction. I have arms like tree trunks, tattoos that go from my wrist to my neck, and a resting face that says, I will eat your soul for breakfast. I wear steel-toed boots and Carhartt jackets because that's my life. Leo? Leo is 8. He has long, flowing red hair and eyes so green they look fake. And his skin? Honey, the child is so white he looks like he was raised in a cellar. He is practically translucent. If he stands against a white wall, he disappears. Put us together, and apparently, to the untrained, prejudiced eye, it looks like a prison break in progress. So, this past weekend, Elena and her husband needed a break. I took Leo to the park near my house. We were having a blast. He was climbing everything in sight. I was sitting on a bench, answering emails, just chilling. Standard godmother duty. When it was time to leave, Leo decided to pull a classic 8-year-old power move. He didn't want to go. 5 more minutes, he screamed, running away from me. We don't have 5 minutes, dude. Sarah is making lasagna, I yelled back. He laughed and bolted for the slide. Now we play rough. That's our dynamic. So I chased him down, listening to him giggle, and when I caught him, I scooped him up and threw him over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes. He was kicking his legs and laughing, screaming, No, no, help! The monster has me! It was a game. We have played this game 100 times. But then she appeared. I felt a hand grab my bicep, not a tap, a claw. I spun around, Leo still giggling on my shoulder, to find this woman in my face. Put him down, she commanded. Not asked, commanded. I was confused. Excuse me? I said, put that child down right now. I've been watching you. You don't belong with him. The music stopped. The birds stopped singing. The giggles stopped. Leo slid down from my shoulder, sensing the shift in energy immediately. Lady, I said, trying to keep my voice level, I suggest you mind your business. We're leaving. I reached for Leo's hand. She lunged and grabbed his other arm, hard. I've called the police, she screamed. Help! He's being abducted! Help! Leo looked at me, his eyes wide, terror starting to creep in. Tia? He whispered. That's when she dug her nails in. That's when I threatened to get physical. That's when she realized that maybe, just maybe, she had bitten off more than she could chew. She released him, but she stood there, blocking the path, phone out, recording. Stay right there. The police are 2 minutes away. I looked at Leo. He was hiding behind my leg, clutching my jeans. It's okay, mijo, I said softly. We're just going to wait for the nice officers to clear this up. I pulled out my phone. My hands weren't shaking. I was too angry to shake. But I could feel my blood pressure hitting numbers that would make my doctor faint. I called Sarah. Hey, babe, bring the lasagna? She asked, cheerful. Get to the park, I said. Bring the photo album, the blue one, and hurry. On my way, she said, no questions. She heard the tone. The police arrived in 2 squad cars, lights flashing. It was a spectacle. People were stopping to watch. The Karen, let's call her Brenda, rushed the first officer, pointing a shaking finger at me. Her, that woman, she grabbed this child. He was screaming for help. She tried to throw him in her truck. The officers separated us. 2 of them cornered me and Leo. Ma'am, I need you to step away from the child, the officer said, hand resting near his belt. I put my hands up, palms open. Officer, this is my godson. I've known him since birth. His parents are out of town. I have him for the weekend. Do you have identification? Do you have proof of guardianship? My wife is on her way with proof, I said, but you can ask him. The officer looked at Leo. Son, do you know this woman? Leo, poor kid, was crying now. That's my Tia Maria. We were playing Monster. You'd think that would be enough, right? Wrong. Brenda was over there shouting, He's brainwashed. She threatened him. Look at him. He's terrified. The cops were hesitant. I get it. I'm a big, scary-looking woman. Leo is a tiny, pale child. The optics were bad. They were trying to get a hold of Elena, but she and her husband were in a dead zone on a hiking trip. I was sweating. I knew I hadn't done anything wrong, but in this world, that doesn't always matter. If you're already shook, feeling that knot in your stomach because you know exactly how dangerous this situation is for someone who looks like me, hit that like button, because the cavalry's about to arrive, and I haven't even gotten to the part where Brenda gets what she deserves. A screech of tires. My wife's sedan hopped the curb, not parked, hopped the curb. Sarah is a tiny Welsh woman. She is 5'0", red hair, feisty as a badger. She stormed out of that car like a Valkyrie. What is going on here? She yelled, marching right past Brenda and up to the sergeant. Ma'am, step back, the cop warned. Don't you ma'am me. She shoved a thick blue photo album into his chest. Open it. The cop, bewildered, opened the book. Page 1, me holding Leo in the hospital, looking like a giant cradling a marshmallow. Page 2, me and Leo at his first birthday. Page 3, me, Sarah, and Leo at Disney. Page 4, me teaching Leo how to hold a sparkler. 9 years of history, hundreds of photos, me and this kid inseparable. The cop's posture relaxed immediately. He looked at me, then at the album, then at Leo. Okay, the officer said. Okay, I see. Sarah wasn't done. She knelt down next to Leo. Leo, baby, are you okay? Leo sniffled. She hurt my arm. Sarah's head snapped up. She looked at me. Who? I pointed at Brenda, who was currently trying to explain to another officer why she was a hero. Sarah stood up, grabbed Leo's arm gently, and pulled up his sleeve. There, clear as day, were 4 crescent moon indentations. Red, angry marks turning purple. Fingernail marks. Sarah marched Leo over to the sergeant. Look at this. The sergeant leaned in. Did the lady do this? Leo nodded. She grabbed me really hard. I told her to stop. The sergeant turned to look at Brenda. His face changed. It went from annoyed at a domestic dispute to professional law enforcement. He walked over to Brenda. Ma'am, turn around and place your hands behind your back. Brenda gasped. What? No, I called you. She's the kidnapper. Ma'am, you are under arrest for assault on a minor. We have a credible witness, photographic evidence of the child's relationship to the suspect, and visible injury on the child caused by you. Turn around. I watched as they clicked the cuffs on her. She was screaming, sobbing, looking at me with pure hatred. You people, you don't belong here. This is a mistake. The only mistake, I called out as they shoved her into the back of the cruiser, was you thinking you could put your hands on my family? We gave our statements. Sarah showed them the bruise again for the report. The cops apologized to me, actually apologized, which was a shock. When we got home, we ate lasagna, and I let Leo play Minecraft until midnight. But here's the thing. Now that the adrenaline has worn off, I'm wondering, did I escalate it? Should I have just stopped immediately when she yelled? Did I put Leo in danger by getting aggressive back? My wife says I'm a hero, but seeing that bruise on his arm, I feel like I failed him. Speaking of people who have absolutely zero concept of boundaries or logic, let me tell you about the time I tried to be a good friend and almost lost my mind in the process. If you think Brenda was annoying, wait until you meet FaceTime Mom. My friend, let's call her Amy, has 2 kids. Ted is 7 and Rick is a baby, about 4 months old. Ted has been struggling because, naturally, the new baby is getting all the attention. Amy was feeling guilty, so she wanted to take Ted trick-or-treating for some one-on-one time. I, being the fabulous, child-free, supportive friend that I am, stepped up. Amy, I said, drop the baby off with me. I have 12 nieces and nephews. I was born an auntie. I got this. She agreed. Halloween rolls around. She drops Rick off at my apartment at 4 p.m. Everything is chill. Rick is cute. Spit up is minimal. Vibes are good. 1 hour in, my phone buzzes. It's a FaceTime request from Amy. I answer. Hey, how's it going? Just checking in. Is he breathing? Is he crying? Did he poop? He's fine, Amy. Go have fun. 45 minutes later. Buzz. FaceTime. Hey, is he okay? Amy, he's sleeping. You're literally waking me up to ask if he's sleeping. She laughed it off. But then it became a pattern. Every 30 minutes. She wasn't even checking in. She was staring at the baby through the screen while walking around in the dark with poor Ted. Half the time the signal would cut out because she was in a neighborhood with bad reception, so she'd call back 3, 4 times in a row until it connected. The phone was vibrating constantly. Bzzt, bzzt, bzzt. The baby, Rick, is a light sleeper. Every time the phone rang, he'd stir. Every time I had to talk to her to reassure her, my voice would wake him up fully. Then I'd have to spend 20 minutes rocking him back to sleep. Make sure you're subscribed because the update I'm about to drop is going to make you scream at your screen. By 10 p.m., I was done. Rick was cranky because he hadn't slept more than 20 minutes at a stretch. I was exhausted. And Amy? She was still calling. Hey, we're just finishing up our tradition. I miss him so much. Show me his face. Amy, I whispered, my eye twitching. He is asleep. I am about to be asleep. Can we stop the calls? No, I need to see him. I have anxiety. You are giving me anxiety. Look, do you want me to just bring him home? No, no, I want my time with Ted. Just answer the phone. 30 minutes later. Bzzzt. Rick starts screaming. That was the breaker. I didn't answer. I packed the diaper bag. I packed the baby. I put him in his car seat. I drove to her house. I texted her, I'm outside. You clearly aren't ready to be away from him, and he can't sleep because the phone keeps waking him up. Here is your child. She came out, and she was livid. I can't believe you, she hissed, grabbing the carrier. I trusted you. I just needed reassurance. You ruined my night with Ted. You ruined your night with Ted, I shot back. You spent the entire night looking at your phone instead of your son, and you tortured me and this baby in the process. I drove home, turned off my phone, and slept like the dead. She hasn't spoken to me since. And honestly, the silence is golden. But sometimes silence isn't enough. Sometimes you have to open your mouth and say the thing that everyone else is thinking, but is too polite to voice. I ran into my ex-husband's mistress the other day. Quick backstory. My ex cheated on me 4 years ago with his friend's girlfriend. Classy, right? They blew up 2 relationships in one go. The mistress, let's call her Jessica, was the type to post photos of them together immediately after the breakup, captioned with things like, finally found my soulmate and love wins. Meanwhile, I was picking up the pieces of my life. I haven't seen them in years. I'm remarried now, happy, glowing, thriving. But I bumped into Jessica downtown. I tried to walk past her. I really did, but she saw me, smirked, and did that little hair flip. I rolled my eyes. I couldn't help it. And under my breath, I muttered, disgusting. She heard me. She stopped, whipped around, and got right in my face. Excuse me? What did you say to me? Now I could have walked away. I could have been the bigger person. But I remembered something about Jessica. She used to talk constantly about how strict and moral her parents were, her late parents. I smiled. A sweet, venomous smile. I replied, my voice dripping with faux kindness, that your parents would be incredibly proud of the woman you've become. The color drained from her face. It was like I'd slapped her. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. Her eyes welled up with tears. I didn't wait for a response. I just turned on my heel and walked away to buy an overpriced latte. Later, a mutual friend told me I went too far, and that Jessica was devastated because her dad was her hero. My response? Don't act like trash if you don't want to be taken out. Was it petty? Yes. Do I regret it? Not even a little bit. Speaking of respecting the dead versus the living, this next story makes my blood boil. I have a friend. Let's call him Mike. Mike is in a bind. His wife Lisa has a tradition. Her dad died a decade ago, and every year on the anniversary she visits his grave. It's a 2-day trip. Mike usually goes. He's a good husband. But this year Mike's mom is sick, like 60 plus, high fever, weak, living alone because Mike's dad is away on business. She needs help. She needs someone to make soup, manage her meds, and just be there so she doesn't, collapse. Mike told Lisa, hey, I can't go to the grave this year. I need to bring my mom to our house and watch her. You go pay your respects. I'll hold down the fort. Reasonable, right? Lisa flipped. It's just a mild fever, she argued. She'll be fine. This is my dad's day. You promised. Mike stood his ground. Lisa, my mom is living. She is here. She needs me. Your dad, with all due respect, isn't going anywhere. She lost it. She told him he didn't care about her grief. Mike finally snapped and said, My living mother is more important right now than your dead father. She stormed out, drove to the grave alone, and has been ghosting him for 3 days. I told Mike, Dude, you are not wrong. We honor the dead, absolutely, but we protect the living. If Lisa can't see that, maybe she needs to spend a little less time at the cemetery and a little more time in reality. And finally, let's talk about the people who really run the house, the kids. There is a 16-year-old kid, let's call him Sam, who wrote in, and my heart breaks for him. Sam is the oldest of four. He's a good kid. His parents are overwhelmed with work and his brother's therapy, so Sam agreed to cook dinner 2 nights a week. A huge help, right? Enter the demon seed, his 8-year-old sister. This little girl isn't just spirited, she's a menace. She hates that she doesn't get to pick the menu, so what does she do? She sabotages the food. I'm not talking about complaining. I'm talking about waiting until Sam has spent an hour chopping and sauteing, and then she walks by and knocks the pan onto the floor. Or worse, she dumps half a bottle of ketchup into the soup. Or, and this made me gag, she spits in it repeatedly while making eye contact. Sam tries to stop her, but she screams, kicks, and throws tantrums. And what do the parents do? Sam, just start over. We need to eat. Don't let her get to you. Be the bigger person. Excuse me? Start over? Have you ever cooked a meal for 6 people? You don't just start over at 7 p.m. because a bratty 8-year-old decided to use the casserole as a spittoon? So Sam quit. He told his parents, I'm done. Until you control her, I'm not cooking. Now the parents are furious, calling him selfish, saying he's ruining the family dynamic. Let me tell you something, Sam. You are a hero. If I were you, I would have served that spit soup to the parents and said, Bon appetit. Maybe then they'd realize that their little angel needs an exorcism, not just a timeout. So here's the question of the day, and I want you to be honest in the comments. If a stranger grabbed your child or your godchild at the park and refused to let go, how far would you have gone? Would you have waited for the cops, or would Brenda be needing a dentist right now? Let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe, or I'll send Amy to FaceTime you at 3 a.m. Bye.